It's 2:43. It's in the afternoon. Today's normally railway day, but with the temperature being as it is, there's no way I'm constantly working while I'm out there in the hot sun. So I've decided to stay in and fix a couple of bugs that I had on the dashboard, because I don't really have time to do it during the week anymore, because I've got literally a list that's keep growing and growing and growing, and I don't want to get behind on my big list. So I thought that's probably a good idea to sort those things out. One of them was manage my services, because big massive thing with the invoices and quotes is that I can choose a service, and I had 3 with no way of managing those 3 or adding extra ones on. So when it came to quotes and everything else, I'm like second guessing the prices, which is really brilliant when you're trying to create a customer experience that is second to none when you don't have all the information available. So done that, and I've also created the reoccurring quote system. Hopefully it works out. I'll find out tomorrow, because I've already got it sending a test for me tomorrow to see if it generates me a quote. If it generates me an invoice. If it does, superb. If it doesn't, we've got less than a month to work out why, because at the end of this month all the customer invoices will be moved over to the new system. Well, technically they already are. They just need to be looked at. So also, if you are a customer, you can now see your reoccurring invoices and when the next due date is and when they're next going to be generated on your dashboard. So you don't have to give me a call up and say, when's my next invoice due? And everything else like that. It's all there. It's visible for you. Now, don't get me wrong. I like it when it's warm. I just don't like it when it's super hot, especially for the dogs, because their paws very sensitive in this weather. It's why when I'm letting them out for wees, like I'm letting Bruno out right this second, I let him out for the max of about 10 minutes and then I'll take him back inside, just so his paws don't burn up. Oh, and by the way, that vlog that I edited where I started off the vlog with the rose in the background, really did enjoy that. That's one of my favourite vlogs, actually. Anyway, yeah, let's see what happens. So this measuring device has been inside my room for the last year, ever since it's because I've got it for the 3D printer. However, it does show the current temperature, which is 29.5 degrees Celsius. This room can go down to about 11 degrees and all the way up to nearly 40 degrees in temperature. There's a reason why I struggle in heat, and as you can see, it gets hot, and then you add the humidity on top, which is what's at the top, which is 52%. It gets even more nasty, and that goes all the way up to 83. So when it's fully 83, there's no chance of me doing any 3D printing. Well, this morning and this afternoon I've been working back on the dashboard. There's been a couple of things that's been niggling on my mind that I've wanted to change. One of them is the fact that I was able to list all of my customers in one go, and I was like, in honesty, that shouldn't be a feature, that shouldn't be something we do. So I was like, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a search field, and that's all that's going to be. It's going to search for emails, and if you know an email and we have a match for a customer, it'll bring up that profile. Now, it won't just bring up the profile. What it will do is it will then ask you for the phone verification code or the phone passcode. That way, anyone who is trying to access accounts will have to have the customer there, or at least know the phone passcode to be able to access the account. Now, of course, there is going to be some cases where people may not remember their phone passcode. In that case, we do have an option to reset, which will resend another email out to that customer, informing them of their new passcode. And at the same time, if, for example, they don't remember, or they get an email but saying, here's your password code reset, then they can contact us and say, hey, someone's trying to access my account and here's my details. So that way, there's a little bit more of a security method for our customers. That way, their data isn't being leaked. Anything to do with them is currently now locked out, unless of course you know that identification code, which is the customer passcode, which is also emailed to them when they first set up an account with us at EB IT Support, which is something I wanted to have. I wanted to have a way to lock down accounts and profiles to requiring a little bit more information from the customer. That way things don't happen. Now there is one permission that if you were able to get that permission granted, which is done by roles and done by user accounts and everything else, if you had that one permission, then technically you can view them without, it will have like an admin override, but every single action, so for example viewing the customer profile, logging out the customer profile, accessing information or doing anything in that sort of regards, would normally mean that you'll get the extra lock onto the thing. Looks like we've got ourselves a train arriving because I've just been stopped by the railway. And yep, looks like everything's all going well. So we're going to stop here for a while, wait for a train to arrive while I talk to you. But basically there is an admin override button which allows you to bypass it, but when you do, it logs it to the system. Well, I've come out to my local woods. I know it's the main place, Whitton Way Country Park. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, is this where it is? I'll put what 3 words down below. I know Richard will probably want one, even though I've been here many times, but it changes every single time. I just scared myself silly though, as I was heading out the car. My chest starts going into massive pain and I can't breathe and everything goes a bit pear-shaped. Now I'm like, how on earth am I meant to resolve this? Well, it turns out the simple answer is just breathe. Some reason something got stuck. I must have swallowed some air the wrong way, but that seemed to have happened at the time. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Hopefully doing well. Putting up with stuff like that a lot. Happens. Oh, so glad I do these walks when it's cooler now. Makes so much more sense. For dinner tonight I've decided to have pasta and sauce, just because I have quite a bit of it, so I thought, why not have something small? I'm not too hungry, but I'm hungry enough, so I thought, why not make some pasta and sauce? And I'll tell you what, the best thing you can ever have is a hot and cold tap, because you can get boiling hot water, pour it straight in, you're already cooking your pasta. It takes about 10 minutes away from the cooking time, because of course you've already boiled the pasta already, so you're not having to wait for the water to boil. It's really good though. Vlog 40 has been edited, 41 is today, and everything's all done. I've now done some final changes with the dashboard, which is working, and which I am really glad to see. Like, I can now manage the appointments, I can manage everything perfect. I can manage appointments anyway, but I can now see customer accounts a lot more better, and they're all locked down to make it easier and more secure as well for my customers. However, I'm going to turn that light on for a split second, only for a split second, really, to say thank you very much for watching today's video. It's been a day of sat here. Technically in 25 minutes time is Father's Day, and I technically have got a Father's Day card from my dogs. I'll read it to you tomorrow. Thank you very much for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. Till then, Bye bye.